Now that the batteries are installed, we can move on to mounting the inverter. For this, we will need to mark the center of the battery mounted on the wall, and as well the center of the inverter wall mount that will be attached to the wall. I'm first going to mark the center of the battery. It's important to note not to mark the center or the face of the battery, but rather mark the back enclosure of the battery. So the dimensions of this battery are 18 inches wide, so I'm going to place a center mark at 9 inches. I can then mark my inverter mounting bracket, and this bracket is 17 inches, so I can make a mark at 8.5. So now I have the center of my bracket and as well the center of my battery, and I can now place the bracket at the required height. Now that we've installed the inverter mounting bracket, we can now install the inverter. Again, we've previously installed the brackets on the inverter. Here are the top brackets, and then as well the bottom standoffs of the inverter. So I'm now going to take this and put it up on the wall. With the inverter mounted on the battery, I can then slide the inverter brackets on the outside of the inverter wall mount. And as you can see, it slides into place. And again, just make sure that the sides of the inverter are flush. So after I set the inverter on the battery is able to take the weight of the inverter, and I can now take the screws to attach the inverter to the inverter wall mount. Now that I've mounted the inverter to the wall mounting bracket, we can now install the wire box cover for the second battery and move on to other wiring.